What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All the Mods Expert Mode. Oh yeah, guys. So in the last episode, we went to, I believe, the final dimension of Abyssal Craft, which is going to allow us to now mine Omthal Stone, or however you pronounce that. We needed that stone in order to get into our capacity runes, if I can spell it correctly. The runes of augmented capacity uses the capacity rune in its recipe, and we need this stone stuff. So I believe, from what I remember with blood magic previously, you want to use the runes of capacity up until you get like 14 of those, and then after that it makes more sense to switch over to the runes of augmented capacity. So the runes of capacity and augmented capacity allow us to have more blood in our blood altar at a time, which is fine, but it also allows us to transfer more blood in and out of the altar at a time, which is what I'm more interested in. So that is one of the things. We were also able to get ourselves the rune of acceleration, or I guess it's just called acceleration rune. I'm not really sure. It's something like that. Yeah, the acceleration rune. So this is another thing that required that stone. The reason why we want to be able to get more blood in and out of the altar and faster is because we want to start getting into draconic evolution, making draconium, these draconium ingots, which we can make it through the metal alloy, which is really ridiculous. It's how we got our first bit, but honestly, putting it through the blood altar with 80 buckets of LP is the more efficient way. So yes, being able to get to this point is definitely where we want to be. So yeah, that's kind of like a recap why we went there. So the Omthal Necronomicon here, we can upgrade that one final time to the Abyssal Nomicon. That should unlock all the different knowledge and stuff. We got this Essence of the Gatekeeper from the boss that we fought in the last episode. That is the only use for it, is to turn the Omthal Necronomicon into the Abyssal Nomicon. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So again, we'll go to uses on that book. There's only one recipe for it, and we can't craft it. Why not? I thought we were able to craft this a minute ago. I was kind of looking. Let's take a look at this again. The uses that requires Eldritch Scale. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know why I didn't fill in those last two, but we have all of those in the system. So there we go. There's our final Nomicon. Achievement, get everything you weren't meant to know. Let's take a look at this real quick. Does this have anything else in here? Oh, actually there looks like there's another realm, a dark realm. Beneath Omthal lies the realm where the immortal souls of the evil demonic gods rest awaiting their reincarnation. The dark realm is where living shadows are born, and the last place living souls shall ever visit. Ooh, okay. Well, I was expecting this was the last of what we needed to do, but apparently there is still more progression to go. So that's something we'll look at a later time. Actually, you know what? I'll keep that in my bag here as a reminder for that. We do need to charge it up, and looks like that holds 100,000 PE. Our previous one held 40,000. So yeah, that's quite a step up for that. Cool. So things that I want to do today. We should look at automating some more of our applied energistic stuff. Currently, we don't have a way to automate making Fluix crystals, for instance, or the pure crystals, or charging crystals, or making any of our processors. So I would like to get these things hooked up for applied energistics so we can craft whatever we want when we want to craft them, and not be like, oh, I got to go and stop making more processors. Like, we're currently running on these 4K drives. You can see we have this whole bank right here that's not full, but these yellow lights indicate we can't hold any more types on those particular disks, and the red lights indicate that we have too much stuff on those disks, and yeah, we ran out of space completely. So upgrading these to 16 or 64K disks makes sense to me, but in order to do that, we're going to need a lot of the processors, and I would like to get that automated. Okay, so let's start with the inscriber, right? So we have one advanced inscriber. If we're going to automate things, we're going to need at least 4 of those for the different materials: the silicon, the diamonds, the gold, and the pure Certus quartz. Then we're going to need at least one more, the 5th one, to put all those components together into a circuit, right? So we need at least 4 more of those advanced inscribers. So the advanced inscriber itself requires an inscriber and some of these other parts. I believe we have all this stuff. And then steel, fluix, and then sticky pistons. Let's make a recipe to do this because I think it's just going to be easier overall for us to auto craft this. I just got done crafting up a bunch of these blink patterns. I think about 55 more of these just so we have these on hand. Yeah, it takes a while to craft them, but now that we have all that process automated, it's not that big of a deal. So let's go ahead and get this going here. So we want sticky pistons, steel. We don't have any steel at all, but we can tell the system to craft some, right? So that is going to go through, yeah, that's going to go through the process that we set up, I think in the episode previous, where we are using our metallurgic infusers to make the enriched iron. Then it takes the enriched iron and then enriches it again to the steel dust, and then it'll smelt that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And this machine is accelerated as fast as it can go, but we can take these metallurgic infusers and turn those into a factory, so it can do more than one at a time. Yeah, it could do up to, I think, 5 or 7 at a time. Anyway, it'd make this go so much faster, but for the little amount of steel that we're doing right now, I think that'll be okay. Okay, so that is currently crafting up the steel, which should already be smelted into these parts here. Yeah, we got the steel now. So now, piston. Let's make a sticky piston so we can complete our pattern here. And there we go. There is a pattern for an inscriber. All right, so that's pretty easy to do. We'll just put that down here in our applied energistic system. That's cool. So inscriber, we'll craft one of those so we can or I guess we can make a pattern for the advanced inscriber. So let's make a pattern for this guy. I do believe we have some processors in the system. Yeah, so we shouldn't have to worry about that for what we're doing right now. So we should be able to auto craft the advanced inscribers. We'll just place that down here in our system as well. So advanced inscriber, we will request 4 of those, and that should be easy enough for us to do. Awesome. Auto crafting is so good. Okay, so now we have the advanced inscribers. We're gonna want the presses. We need 1 for each different type at the minimum. All right, so there's our 4 different circuits that we want to stamp out. And then we're gonna want some interfaces and other things. Now, these inscribers, not really sure the best way to do that. Pretty much, it's not, no, we could put the interfaces on these and do them on demand. You know what, we might do that. Let's do it. So let's do 5 interfaces. Wasn't sure which way we want to do this. If we want to do the interfaces and do them on demand, or if we want to just have it go all the time and have like a stack or multiple stacks available, I think doing it on demand will be okay. So fluix dust is a recipe we have not made yet. So let's make a recipe to turn fluix crystal into fluix dust, and we can do that simply in our macerator. All right, so now that should be good. What else do we need here? Interface. So yeah, again, 5 of those. All right, so everything should be happy. We can craft that. All right, looks like everything's done. All right, so there's our 5 interfaces, our 4th inscribers. Now we're gonna need a bunch of patterns to do things here. I don't think we have any of the circuits. Actually, let's do applied here. Oh, we do have printed calculation circuit. No, we have a few of these. Okay, so we can start making the patterns here. So we can do a gold ingot's gonna equal 1 of those. Do we not have any gold ingots? We do, just can't see it. So there is that one. So we want a diamond is going to equal the engineering one. We don't have the engineering ones at all. All right. Pure Certus quartz will equal the calculation, like so. And silicon is going to equal the printed silicon. All right. So we got most of them. We still need to make 1 of the engineering. So let's grab a diamond. And we'll just go ahead and set this up now. No, not 32. We want just 1. All right, so let's make an engineering over here. One of those, and done. Cool. So now we can make the pattern for that. And then 1 diamond is going to equal 1 of those. Awesome. All right, so now we got the 4 patterns to make the components. Then we'll also have to make patterns, take these components and turn them into their respective circuits. Now, I think we'll set these up down here. Now, currently we have our, I guess our processors down here for the auto crafting. We could set up the other things over here. These don't have to be like visible, right? They're not something that's like super interesting to look at. So let's just set these down here. Now, I don't remember if these accept input from the side or from the top or from the bottom. I feel like it's on the side. So let us set these up. Nope, I don't want those guys touching. Although I guess that doesn't matter. Set this one up over here. Okay. And then we can connect those with the cables in between. So we'll want the interfaces, I'm sure, like this. All right. And then we want the pattern for each one. So first one we'll do over here, that'll be the silicon one. So let's put the silicon press in here. And we'll put the silicon pattern. This one will be the gold one. So we'll put the logic and the gold one. This one will be the calculation with the calculation there and the calculation press. And we left the engineering press upstairs. Let's grab that real quick. All right, engineering press. All right, so we'll put the diamond in here and the engineering press right there. So now, whoops, that is not what I wanted. So now we have the ability to request these different components, and knows that with 1 diamond, it will make one of these guys in this machine. So we also need to extract that out and then put it back into the interface. So we'll probably just use, regular conduit, item conduit. That should be good. We'll want some ME glass cable to hook it all up. All right. And then these things we can just hook up. I guess we could have these all touching. There's no reason to have that space in between them like I did right here. I might change that, do that, and we can just connect those over. I want that connected on the back. Yeah, okay, so that'll be fine. And these we will just extract and then put into the interface like so. Cool, so let me go ahead and get these all configured, and then we will get our other one down here and make patterns to make our circuits. So I cleaned it up a little bit. I put all those guys together so we don't have to have the cables in between. And yeah, we're going to be using the 5 channels right here for these 5 interfaces. So I've had questions before on previous videos asking how I separate these conduits. Now, when you place down the conduits, normally they will look like this, right? And all you gotta do is just take a wrench, the Yeta wrench specifically in this version, and just right click them to separate them. So you're not extracting from here and putting it over into one of these or whatever. Yeah, so it's just their own separate conduit network. So yeah, each one of these are now set that way. And then I did put in patterns here to create these guys. So you can see that it creates an engineering processor with a printed silicon, a redstone, and another printed engineering circuit, right? So those are all pretty much done now. So if we come upstairs and we tell the system to request a processor, like I want to make another engineering processor, we have 151. If I tell it to make another one, we should have 152 in just a few moments here. So it's got, oh, you know what? It's going to take a little bit of time because we haven't made the acceleration cards, right? But you can see there that that works perfectly. Okay, so now we want to make a pattern for acceleration cards. Oh, you know what? We have a few of those. You know what? I think we already have patterns for that. Cool. So now we should be able to just auto-craft that, and if we need more circuits, it'll just make them. All right, so there's 20. We'll probably need 5 more, I think. Does each one of these take 5? Yeah. I do believe you can also shift right-click these on there. No, just the normal Applied Energistics machines you can. I guess we have to go into the interface and click those all in there, but that'll make this whole process go that much faster, and we need 5 more. So let's go back up here real quick and get 5 more Excel cards. And like so. Okay, so now when we try and tell it to make those diamond processors, that should go, oh, this one's already full. Yeah, so we don't need them. It'll go a lot faster. All right, so once again, the engineering processor, let's tell it to make 10 this time. So we have 152, and now we have 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that goes pretty quickly. I think that'll be just fine. All right, cool. So yeah, that obviously works perfectly. So the next thing we want to set up is the auto crystal growth chamber. So I don't believe this requires any channels for it to work, but it does require AE power. Let's grab another interface. Make one of those real quick. We are gonna need to set up some patterns here. So for instance, if we want to make FluX, let's take a look at this. FluX. So to make FluX, we need to get ourselves a charged Certus crystal, a charged Certus crystal, nether quartz, and redstone. Okay, so let's grab charged Certus quartz. We'll grab a nether and a redstone. Like so. I believe that makes 2 FluX. So we'll grab 2 of those so we can tell the system about it. Cool. All right, so 1 charge plus a redstone plus a nether quartz should equal 2 of these. Okay, so we can also set up patterns for growing the pure stuff, and we'll probably look at that later. But for right now, this is probably the more important part of this. We are going to want to get ourselves more item conduit, and I do believe this time we are going to need to use filters, at least on the extract. Okay, so these other machines, the interface push the items in here, but the extraction, when we're extracting out of here, will only extract out of this one. Now, this machine is slightly different, right? So it only has 1 inventory. So if we're pushing items in and extracting out, we're going to extract out the wrong things unless we tell it what to extract, right? So we want to put these conduits here. We'll set it up exactly the same way. Always active insert. And on the extract side, we'll put a filter and say only extract that for right now. We'll have to put these in for the pure crystals later on, but this should get us going. All right, so that's done. Yeah, and then we can put this right here, and I do need to get the applied energistics cabling down here. Let's grab another ME cable. Okay, so that should work just fine. And we'll just do one of those for right now, just to bridge the gap. Okay, so now we should be able to tell the system to craft FluX. Let's just tell it to craft. Oh, you know what? It's not registering. There it is. Okay, let's tell it to craft 10 more of those. Okay, so we got 10 more. Easy. So that is one of those things that is a thing that we've had to do in the past. Obviously, we have a few extra in the system, but now we'll never have to make those again. That's going to make our life super easy. The thing I did notice, though, is our nether quartz is not looking so hot. We are getting some nether quartz ore from our void resource miner, or void ore miner, I guess. But that's not a lot. So we're gonna have to look at fixing that here very, very soon. Now, another thing that I did do, our ender chest here has been receiving stuff from our quarry, and our quarry is pushing stuff into these drawers. Anything that doesn't go into the drawers is going over into this large storage crate. I switched over our void ore miner to start pushing the items into this chest, right? And then those are also going to these drawers. But our void ore miner is getting a whole bunch of different random things. Like we have more nether quartz ore here, which we can fortune and get more stuff out of. But we got a lot of other things that just don't really belong. So a thing that I'd like to do is have this ender chest go directly into applied energistics, right into an interface. Instead of extracting to the drawer, we'll extract into our ME system, right? Our ME system knows about all of these items. So if it gets an iron ore, it's like, oh, iron ore, that goes right there, right? So I think that's going to make a lot of sense here. That way we don't have to worry about this thing ever filling up, and all the resources that we're collecting here we'll always know about because they'll be in our system, right? So I think that is probably the best thing to do. So under here, we want to get ourselves some kind of an interface. I'm just going to poke a hole. Oh, you know what? We have applied energistics right there because we have the storage bus. Okay, so we can change this up a little bit. So instead of going on to... No. We'll leave that just as it is. We'll bring a cable over, I think, and put an interface... Or actually, I guess we can just stick an interface right here and have this go directly onto that. That's probably what we want to do. We can just leave everything as it is. So let's grab an interface. We could also move the ender chest as well, so we don't have to have it back here. That is another option. We could have it completely hidden somewhere. Not really sure what I want to do. The easiest thing right now is just to put an interface right here. And then we will disconnect this, so it's no longer trying to push items in there. It will just start pushing items into the ME system. So if we set this to insert, everything that's in this will start going into our ME system, and everything that's coming out of here will go into our ME system. I think probably what we want to do is once this empties, we can just get rid of this chest completely, because everything, yeah, we won't have to have the secondary storage at all. So yeah, I think that is probably a good change here. And then again, we can move this ender chest somewhere else with this same conduit, just extracting out and putting it into an interface anywhere on the network. Doesn't have to be back here anymore. That's definitely a thing that I'd like to have happen. So for the last thing that I'd like to do with Applied Energistics for today is I'd like to look at getting a wireless terminal. So every time we need to craft something or every time we need to grab an item, we have to go to one of these terminals, right? Which is fine, we have them around, but yeah, having the wireless terminal would be great. Having a wireless crafting terminal would be better, but unfortunately the wireless crafting terminal mod is not in this mod pack, unfortunately. Yep, so we're gonna have to deal without it. Okay, so in order to do some wireless AE, we're gonna need to get ourselves an access point. This is not a thing that we're gonna set up on AutoCraft since we don't need a lot of these. We do need a few of these Fluix pearls though, so let's grab some some Fluix dust. Let's just tell the system to make like 10 of those. That should be enough, I think. Right, so we'll craft up like 2 of these pearls, I think is what we need. We need to make 2 of those. Wireless receiver, which also means we're gonna need some more of the quartz fiber stuff. All right. So there's 2 of the wireless receiver things. And now we can craft an ME wireless access point. All right, so we are also gonna need the wireless terminal. So that also requires a wireless receiver. It does require an ME terminal, which we might be able to craft. Yeah, we can, nice. And then we're gonna need a dense energy storage cell, which means we need 8 energy cells, which we should probably put on an auto craft. Do we have that already? We don't have energy cell auto craft. Now, I could craft those all up by hand, but honestly, let's just go ahead and make a pattern for it. Okay, so there we go. There is a pattern for a energy cell. We'll want 8 of those. We're gonna put these, where's our AE stuff? Right here? Okay, cool. So energy cell, let's make 8. So we have everything but the pure Fluix crystal. Might be a good time to make the recipe for that. So Certus dust, we have that on AutoCraft, and we have sand on AutoCraft, so it's just an easy matter of making a pattern for that. Okay, so we'll do 1 dust plus 1 sand is going to equal Certus seed. We'll make a pattern for that. Now we need to make a processing pattern where 1 seed is going to equal 1 pure Fluix, right? Like so. Cool. So now we got a crafting pattern and a processing pattern. So the crafting pattern needs to go in here somewhere. Again, we'll try and find our AE stuff and kind of keep it nearby. Okay. And then this guy needs to go over. Oh, I don't have the pure. The pure, so it is this processing pattern needs to go over here into this one, into our crystal growth chamber. And then we also need to tell it to whitelist these guys. Okay, so now if we tell the system to make some pure Fluix crystals, it should know how to do that just fine. So going back to this, the energy cell, we can tell it to craft up 8 of those, and now everything should be happy. I'll tell it to start. So it's crafting the seeds are in the thing, and that switched on us. So it should be growing the Certus quartz right now. Yeah, there it goes. So those are all done. And there's our 8 energy cells. Awesome. All right, so now we can take those, wrap it around 1 calculation processor, and have our dense energy cell. Cool. So now wireless crafting terminal is in our hands. So having the wireless crafting terminal is great. And having the wireless access point is awesome, but there's still more to this that we need to do, and that holds a lot of power. 1.5 million AE? 2 million? I'm not sure. Oh, there it goes. 1.6 million AE power. Okay, so in order to link this, you can see it says unlinked. We need to get ourselves a security terminal. One of these guys, which requires some stuff. So we need a 16K. And it looks like we're able to craft that. So I'll just tell the system to start crafting that up. We're gonna need an ME chest, which is an ME terminal. Can we make one of those? Oh, no. All right, so we need the, those, I think it's called a core? Yeah, all right, so we'll make one of those. And we'll make one of those. Okay, whoop. Where'd the other core go? Formation core, there it is. All right, so those are ME terminals, so we can make our ME chest, which will allow us to make this security terminal get. All right, nice. So now we can put our wireless access point down, link our wireless thing, and then we should be able to have the wireless access. Now also we're gonna need the booster card to extend the range. I don't remember, is this the one where you put in a stack, or is this the one where you put in 16? Let's do this recipe here. And then we make 2 each, so let's do Fluix. We'll do 32 of these. And then we also needed the dust from the Ender Pearl. Let's make 32 of those. I think you can just put those into a macerator. Okay, so those are being done. So we should be able to make our wireless cards now, or boosters. Certus, Ender Dust. All right, there's a stack of those. Okay, so we should be pretty much good to go here. Where do we want to put the wireless thing? We could put it up here, which might make sense since it'll be available pretty much everywhere in the base and give us a little bit more range upstairs. Now let's do that. We'll stick this guy, the wireless access point, right here. So we'll know that thing is working. It says device online. I thought this thing actually glowed a little bit when it was ready to go. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, we'll put that thing right there. So now we have a range of 528 meters away. So everywhere in the base, we can probably turn that down a little bit. So that's using 8,000 RF to keep that going. We probably don't need that much. So that up to 200 meters away. 100 meters away? Let's just keep it like that. So 118 RF per tick. I think that's a little bit more realistic. All right, so we needed a security terminal somewhere. Guess we can just stick that like right here. And then we can drop our wireless thing in there. And now we should have the ability to look at everything in our ME system and grab items wherever we want. That's so good. So let's go over to our bee area. We're over here at bees. We need something. We got it. Let's go over. Oh, I don't know. How about over here? I just picked up one of these otherworldly leaves, and I'm looking at our water thing, and we can put stuff away. That's so good. So we could crank that all the way up to the 500 meter mark and use our wireless terminal like all the way over at a quarry or like over here in the wilderness. But honestly, do we need to do that? Not really. We could see how it works. Right, man, way over here. That's just crazy. It's so good though. I like it. And that's only using like what, 100 RF per tick, I think, where we have it set to. Let's take a look one more time because I can't remember. But yeah, the 8,000 RF per tick is just a little too much. Ah, the light's on now. I wonder if it was not lit because we didn't have a terminal linked. Maybe that's why. So yeah, 118 RF per tick. Yep. Oh, the AE is slightly different. I guess it's 2 AE to 1 RF. I thought the AE and RF were the same. I guess not. Anyway, so yeah, we can use this whenever we want to. When we're over here and we're using it, though, it automatically gets charged up by our wireless charger. I guess the other thing we could check out is like how much power this is using when we're a little bit away. So like if we're using it over here. Wait, why does it say it's out of range now? It's just working. What? Oh, I don't get it actually. It was working like way over here, and now it's saying it's out of range. Why is that? Because we didn't change anything else. Maybe we have to put a few more of these cards in. Maybe we didn't update properly. I don't know. It says that it can go up to 105 meters away, which, All right, let's just put in a few more cards. But anyway, I wanted to see how much power this thing is using when we're hanging out over here. Oh, we can't look at it? No, there's no way to see the power remaining. So just having it open for that long used about 10,000 AE, which is, I guess, 5,000 RF. Is that right? Or is that the other way? I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's using too much. Oh, okay, we can, right, if we right click on there, we can hover this. For some reason, I was thinking you had to hover down there. So yeah, we can see how much it's using right now just by having that open. That's going to be plenty of time to do whatever we need to do. Yeah, I think we're good to go, guys. I think we are good to go. But we're going to go and wrap the episode up here for today. We got a lot of applied energistics stuff done that needed to be done, which is super awesome. Yeah, so now we'll be able to do mini auto crafting for everything AE. We can start upgrading our drives, not worrying about if we have the processors or whatever. Yeah, I think I do want to upgrade our storage disks to at least 16, if not 64. And now we'll be able to do it without a problem. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.